How y'all feeling? Thanksgiving Day locks? You already know High Stakes Takes had to drop another one. Let's go. Let's go off heated, straight heated. Sunday, Saturday. We've been kind of kicking it back. Doing every week locks, right? Haven't dropped so much over the week. Liverpool, huge victory yesterday. Huge victory. Didn't play, I think like 4 or 5 of their starters. Mane, Salah, they played. Henderson, they came off. Van Dijk didn't play. Trent and Andy Robertson. Robertson came off, I think, came on in like the 75th. Huge day for Liverpool fans all over. Let's go. Huge show for y'all. Europa League locks today. Thanksgiving Day games. And MLS playoffs getting us started in round 2, quarterfinals. The first game we got the lock for y'all. It's gonna be a huge show. Let's let the beat rock for a little, then get into it. Shout out JB on the beat. Still waiting on that next one. Let's keep cooking. Alright, let's get right into it. See, I don't know if the hair hitting today or what. We rocking the hat. What's going on? Haha, let's get it. So, we're gonna get us started. We're gonna go over the MLS playoff lock, quarterfinals, game 1. We're talking Colorado Rapids at home versus the Portland Timbers. Colorado -140 favorite. If we look at the live over here, and Portland Timbers +350 underdogs. That's surprising. That probably shifted from see, +350. +330 now. Colorado Rapids from -140 down to -122. It'll probably stay around there. But Portland, they could easily get a draw. But a guaranteed lock for this game. Let's see if it shifted. Ooh. Damn. The 2.5 shifted from -170 all the way down to -135. That's a crazy drop for only a couple hours. So you got Colorado Rapids coming in 17-10-7 on the year. Had the first round bye. Scored 51 goals. Only given up 35 on the whole year. That's pretty solid. I think 33 goals against led the league. So solid defensively. Coming off a 5-2 victory at home versus LAFC. To end the year like that, that's huge for them. But versus Portland, at home, they got 7 wins. They've drawn 6 games and lost 2 of them. So, dropping points in 8 out of 15 games played? This might be a tough battle, especially in the quarterfinals, playoffs. That's great. This got me skeptical because -170 all the way down to -135. I thought it was going to shift up to 3.5. It might shift back to -145. So we're going to lock in the over 2.5. And do we rock with Portland? Colorado could score left and right. Portland on the road. They're coming off that 3-1 victory versus Minnesota United in the first round. Only 2 wins all time on the road versus Colorado. Nah, we can't get them covering. This might be a blowout, to be honest, but guaranteed lock. This might even hit 4 goals. Over 3.5. That shifted from +150 to +185. I'd probably stay away from that because it only hit in 5 of 13 when Portland heads to Colorado. But key stat to this one. The over 2.5 has hit in 9 out of 13 meetings when Portland travels to Colorado. Guaranteed lock, first lock of the day, over 2.5. So to get into the Europa League, we got Leverkusen at home versus Celtic. Now Leverkusen in Group G. We'll look over here. Bring that up. So Celtic in Group G. Celtic and Leverkusen. Now, Celtic right in position for Europa Conference League, the new league they started this year. But Leverkusen sitting in first, haven't qualified yet, need points in this game, and they would qualify with the win. I think sitting at -1, damn. 245 to 230, that's crazy. Just that a little bit, that's a little sketchy. They still got Tapsoba. I think Amiri played in the last game, came off the bench versus Bochum. Oh, Amiri started. That was the surprising part. Started on the wing. Adli starting as striker. Florian Wirtz right behind him. Solo trying to hit the Dino early. Definitely got to get in there throwing my Thanksgiving Day parlays. But Bayern Leverkusen coming off a close victory, 1-0 versus Bochum. Celtic, they got 5 straight away wins, which is huge. But they've given up 2 goals in each of the last 2 away games. And coming off a 3-2 victory at Fenerbahce, I'm thinking Leverkusen, they just beat Real Betis 4-0. Now Real, solid team to beat them 4-0 at home. I'm thinking them being at home is going to be crucial to this lock. And coming off 2 straight home wins and back-to-back clean sheets, we're locking in Bayern Leverkusen -245. Let's go. Let's have a day, Thanksgiving. Them boys going to be eating. Let's get it. So the next lock we got for y'all, Real Betis at home versus Fenerbahce. Now, damn, Carvalho, he just got added. Nabil Fekir having a red card. This is a sketchy one. I took Real Betis -1.5, but all those injuries. And it actually shifted from -530 up to -600. Now they do have depth, right? Christian Theo, they got Iglesias coming off the bench. They do have depth that can step up, but they're missing some top key players in Carvalho, sitting in central defensive midfield. Solid player. I think that'll be a key loss for them. I'm actually gonna stay away from this game for sure. That's crazy. Yeah, all them injuries are gonna be a little too much for Real Betis. That might be a draw in that game. So the next game we got Michelin at home versus Braga. Now, look over here. Michelin sitting third, 1-2-1 so far in Group F. Only gave up 5 goals through 4 games, but with only 1 win. Sitting on the brink. They lose back-to-back games. Ludogorets, they could qualify for that Europa Conference League. But Braga, I'm thinking they're 3-0-1. They could clinch with a win right here. And dominated the first meeting with Midtjylland. These odds had to have shifted. Still +190 on the road. Now, over-under sitting at 2.5. This is one where it's kind of surprising. Might make people stay away from it. But I'm thinking Braga, 9 goals so far through 4 games. Been dominating, 3 wins. Coming off a 4-2 victory versus Ludogorets. And in that first game, at home versus Midtjylland, they beat them 3-1 and dominated on shots, 17-7. Even missed the penalty. So, they're guaranteed to at least come away with the draw in this meeting. I'm locking in Braga plus a half, and sitting at plus 190, that's solid money right there. Not a bad bet at all. So the next game we got for y'all, we're talking Rapid Vienna at home versus West Ham. Now West Ham sitting in first. What group they in? Group H? Yeah, Dynamo Zagreb. Yeah, Genk in there. Now West Ham sitting in first, haven't lost yet. 9 goals for, only 2 given up through 4 games. Vienna, they can still qualify for Europa League. If Dynamo Zagreb and Genk don't get results, Vienna come out, get wins, which not really likely, but at home, they could take some points from West Ham. And looking at West Ham lately, 1-0 loss on the road versus Wolves. Gave up 2 goals to Liverpool, but that was still a big victory. But last road game, gave up 2 goals to Genk. And Genk, only 3 goals so far. Scored 2 versus West Ham. So that just proves to you West Ham susceptible to goals against. And I'm thinking in this game, it's tough. Vienna only 1 win, 7 goals given up through 4 games. But they are coming off a 3-1 loss at Dynamo Zagreb. I think coming home, they might get a result. But West Ham won the first meeting 2-0 at home. And they could clinch Europa League or clinch into the knockout stages with a win here. So I'm going to lock in West Ham on the road to get the job done. What is it? See, this sitting minus 180. Has that shifted? Let's see that. Still minus 180. But what's a little surprising, what I always tell y'all to look out for, the minus a half, which is just like money line to get a win. Minus 170, a little bit better odds. Added to it, we'll take a minus a half also. Guaranteed to get the victory. You got Antonio out there, Souček, Declan Rice, Benrahma, Bowen. Let's go. On the road versus Vienna, let's get it. Big victories. And in the next one, kicking us off at 3 o'clock, we got Brøndby at home versus Lyon. Now, Lyon plus 110 favorites shifted just a little bit to plus 104, as you can see there. Brøndby plus 250 shifted just a little bit from plus 235. The draw sitting plus 250, probably not likely. But Lyon, they've already clinched. We'll look at that quick. Dealing with Boateng out. Say he's getting rest. They don't need to play him. They already clinched. But Dubois, he's out. But no one really, with too notable of a name, is out for Lyon. I'm thinking in this game, they'll probably still play some key starters. They're coming off that 4-1 loss at Rennes. So they can't afford to just take it easy. They need to start getting results on away games. Lost their last 2 away games, giving up 7 goals over the past 2. And I think a lock, even though their first 2 meetings are in 97, you know there's going to be goals against in both these games. Lyon's going to be resting some people, still have some prolific attackers out there. Brøndby, where they sitting in the standings. See, 2 points, but Rangers and Sparta Prague, they only got 4. So still an opportunity there to clinch even Europa Conference League. And that's why they implemented that, because for teams like Brøndby, who don't always qualify for the knockout stages, there's that Europa Conference League. Get them a little bit of notoriety, but they still have a chance. Only 1 goal so far through 4 matches, but at home versus Lyon, could play them tough. I'm thinking the over-under sitting at 2.5. That's surprising to me. Minus 130. Shifted just a little bit from minus 120 just this morning. Lyon only 3 goals allowed so far, but I'm thinking they aren't going to be starting, I don't know, probably half their starters. Kind of like Liverpool. You see Morton out there. They didn't start their wing backs, so they didn't start Van Dijk. I think it's going to be kind of the same situation. So I'm going to go with the over 2.5. Bromby, I think they'll get maybe 2 goals. Guaranteed to get at least 1. And we're locking in the over 2.5 in that Bromby versus Lyon game. Now the next game at 3 o'clock we got Frankfurt at home versus Antwerp. Now, Antwerp dealing with multiple injuries. Frankfurt, pretty healthy, but Hinteregger, huge center back. That's a big loss for them. You got Frankfurt coming off 3 straight victories, 2 goals in each of those wins, and they were all on the road. So coming back home, 3-game win streak. I think in the Europa League, this is going to be a huge game for them. Haven't quite clinched yet. They can guarantee a spot in the knockout stages with the win here. And you look at Antwerp, only 3 goals for, 8 goals given up through 4 games. I'm thinking Frankfurt guaranteed to get the victory. They were sitting at minus 280. Now minus 300. They guaranteed to get the victory, but the over-under was sitting at 2.5, and we just missed it. Sitting at over 2.5, minus 170 odds to hit the over. Now shifted to 3.5, went from plus 140 to plus 130. They're thinking there's going to be goals left and right. I'm thinking the same thing. Frankfurt, been playing well lately. We're locking in Frankfurt minus 280. And actually, the minus 1.5, that's not bad. That's not bad. But you look at Frankfurt coming off a 2-1 victory at Olympiakos. Solid result for a road match. And won their first meeting at Antwerp 1-0. So maybe at home, they dominate a little more, get that second goal. I'm going to stay away. They could clinch here. Antwerp only 1 point. Fuck it. We'll lock in the over 2. See, what is it at now? Is it going to be goals like that? See, I never like taking the over like that. We had the over 2.5 locked in. Fuck. We'll take minus 1.5. Frankfurt covering. And with the over-under sitting at 3.5. See, I almost locked it in. If you're debating it this much, stay away from it. So we're going to stay away from the over-under in that one. Just solely based upon it switching from 2.5 to 3.5. Okay. Oh, we just seen it live. Minus 300 to minus 290. This shit's getting shifty. And it looks nifty. And to close out Europa League locks for this Thanksgiving Day, we got Olympiakos at home versus Fenerbahce. Now, Olympiakos minus 140 favorites. How's this shifted? Where they at, though? Still minus 140. Fenerbahce still plus 370 on the road. Each team sitting second and third. Where they at? I think there's going to be goals left and right in this one. Each team giving up 6 goals so far through 4 games. Battling for that next spot to play in a playoff to get in the Europa League knockout stages. But Fenerbahce, only 1 win so far, 2 draws. And you look at Olympiakos, either they're winning games or they're losing games. Basically the same on goal difference. This is going to be a battle. And look at the last meeting, Olympiakos beat them 3-0 on the road. So them coming home this time, I think they'll at least put up 2. Fenerbahce, they probably won't get a clean sheet kept against them. So maybe 1 or 2 goals for them. I'm not going to pick a winner in this one. But Fenerbahce, key stat, unbeaten in their last 3 away games in the Europa League. So a little something to look out for. And Olympiakos have let up 5 goals in their last 2 Europa League games. So we're locking in the over 2.5. And it was at minus 130. Did it switch? Still at minus 130. Let's go. Now, the huge games on today. let's go. To get us started, NFL Thanksgiving Day games. You look forward to it every year. You always check who's playing. Not crazy good games this year, and that's a lot to do with injuries and some of the teams that are playing. But as always, we're gonna see Detroit, whoever they're playing. You would love to see them play Green Bay, but playing another NFC North opponent. They're taking on Chicago at home, looking for their first victory of the year. They tied just a couple weeks ago versus Pittsburgh, getting Jared Goff back. For Chicago, 3-7 on the year, only 1-4 on the road. You got Fields out, Dalton starting. Each team, defensively, man, Detroit hasn't been bad over the last few games, only giving up 173 yards per game through the air, and on the ground, straight awful. 140 yards per game given up so far this year, and over the last 3 games, giving up 188. Come on, where is it? Where? Damn, 188 per game over the last 3. You know Montgomery's finna have a huge day. And whether Chicago wins, I don't know. You got Dalton out there. And it kind of plays perfectly into what Chicago kind of want to do. They want to run the ball. You know Dalton's going to at least turn over the ball once. So it's going to be tough. Detroit, Thanksgiving Day is going to be hectic. And 0-9 on the year. Do they get their first victory? I'm not sure. But I think DeAndre Swift, he'll have a day. You got Jamal Williams out there. TJ Hawkinson. I think he'll turn up a little bit. In Detroit at home, we're going to rock with them +3 to cover the spread. And I think, Dan Campbell, does he get his first victory as Lions head coach? I think he does. We aren't going to lock them in. They're sitting +125. Did that switch? Let's still +125. I think they get a victory here. But we're going to stay away from that money line, and we're going to lock them into cover. It's probably going to be a close, maybe high-scoring game. I think the running backs, I think Montgomery and Swift each have a day. And maybe Jamal Williams out the backfield, too. Dred's rocking. That boy, he's a beast. Absolute animal. But imagine Green Bay had the 3 running back tandem. I don't know how they would make that work, but Jamal, Dylan, and Aaron Jones. Shout out Aaron Jones, too. Hope that man get healthy, get back out there. Because you know Green Bay making a long playoff run. And especially when I seen that video of Aaron Rodgers, that boy had to shit at that Halloween party and dancing a boo shasty. That boy hella funny. But we're locking in Detroit +3. Now the 4:30 game. We got Dallas at home versus the Raiders. You got Vegas, 5-5 on the year, 2-2 on the road. Dallas, on the other hand, 7-3, 4-1 at home. But they are coming off a 19-9 loss at Kansas City. CD got knocked out early, already missing Amari Cooper. It's going to be a tough game at Arrowhead. So I'm kind of looking at their last home game. 43 points versus Atlanta. Only gave up 3. They're playing a Raiders team who have lost 3 straight games, only averaging 17 points per game over their last 7. Raiders got to turn it up here. I think they might be able to throw it through the air a little bit. They're going to have to because Dallas is going to put up points. You look at the Raiders, 132 yards given up on the ground per game. Go over here, look at that. Passing yards. 132, about the same over the last 3. If you look at Dallas, where they at? 103 yards per game, sitting 10th on the year. But you look at them over the last 3 weeks, giving up 140. So Josh Jacobs could get it going a little bit. But Dallas at home, missing Cooper, still out. I think he's eligible to return November 27th. So he will play next week. But CeeDee Lamb, concussion last week, already recovering. That boy, if he returns, he's a straight animal. But you already know they're going to have to make sure he's 100%. It's all about the player's health. Deadass. A young player, too. Absolute animal out there. That boy get a first down, he be hitting him with that. Let's get it. So, I'm going to rock with Dallas. I think CeeDee's going to play. Dallas 4-1 at home. I think that's huge. Thanksgiving Day. And Dallas versus the Rush. They might step up here, but their secondary is absolutely locking in over the last 3 weeks. Only giving up 191 yards. Where they at? What's that put them? 6th over the last 3 weeks. Secondary turning up. Guaranteed. And that's one of the prop bets too. First prop of the day. I don't even think I wrote this one down. Derek Carr total interceptions over a half. To throw a pick, minus 140. Lock it in. And we're going to rock with Dallas. At home. Thanksgiving Day to turn up. Minus 7.5. Lock it in. Lock it in. Let's get it. So, any prop bets for that one? Besides that info, or do we just get to the props after? We got a little, I think 4. We got 4 quick props for y'all on this Thanksgiving Day. Let's get it. But to get to the 8:30 game, where I'm thinking we're going to have 2 picks for this one. 2 locks for y'all. Hit you with the locksmith. New Orleans plus 6.5 at home. It's had to have shifted off of it. Still the same, it might shift close to the kickoff. And 2-2 at home. Not the best, but 5-5 on the year. So, just about even. That shit. But Buffalo, 6-4 on the year. 3-2 on the road. Not the best record. Not playing up to their potential. Defense has been solid. The offense has been killing them, which is surprising. And Buffalo defensively, sitting 2nd on the year. Only giving up 182 yards per game through the air. And on the ground, 102 yards per game. Locking in. But over the last 3 weeks, getting a little shaky. Giving up 138 yards per game. That only puts him 26th in the league. And you got Mark Ingram, who questionable for the game. If he doesn't play, Buffalo guaranteed to win this game and cover. But if Mark Ingram plays, and that's no shade at Tony Jones, you just don't know what he's going to do. Last week, 2 rushes, 3 yards? Can't go off that. And New Orleans, their secondary, granted early on, we'll take a closer look at it. Oh, damn. 222, not bad. I think it puts them 17th in the league. But on the year, they were missing Lattimore for a couple games, I'm pretty sure. At least one. And on the year, giving up 252 yards through the air. Maybe Josh Allen has a little bounce back game coming off that blowout loss with Jonathan Taylor. Making his MVP. Putting his name in the MVP conversation. Making his MVP resume absolutely filled. 5 tutties. I said, give it up for that, man. Still recovering. Let's get it. Nothing a little monster can't cure. Let's go. So, New Orleans, missing Kamara. If Ingram doesn't play, we're locking in Buffalo, covering 6.5. But if he does play, New Orleans going to give up points. Over-under sitting at 45. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. They're playing in the Dome. I'm almost positive they're back in the Dome. And don't have to deal with weather. And if they were in Buffalo, guaranteed low-scoring game. But I'm thinking Mark Ingram probably going to turn up in this game. If you got him in fantasy, start him. I think he's a vet at this point. I think his 3 practices this week, he had a limited practice, missed practice, and then he ended with a limited practice. So he'll probably be out there, probably just getting vet days. And especially on a short week, we're going to lock in. And this is if Ingram plays. Buffalo, minus 270. And we're going to lock in New Orleans to cover the spread at plus 6.5. I think this will be a close game. Probably going to hit the over 45, but probably be right around there. Maybe 47 points, maybe 44. I think it'll be a close game. Probably field goal to win it. And to get into the prop bets, I think we got some guaranteed locks for this Thanksgiving Day. Now, DeAndre Swift, rushing and receiving. I think with Goff back out there, I think versus Chicago, he's guaranteed to turn up. And what would they versus the boy? There it is. I was like, what? I thought I lost it. You got Chicago 24th versus the rush, giving up 123 yards per game. Now, over the last 3, what's that put them? Still around the same, giving up 2 more. But Chicago on the ground, I think DeAndre Swift guaranteed to have a day. And with Goff back out there, I think they'll hit him out of the backfield. They don't have to, defense ain't going to stack the box too much. And you know Goff going to throw the ball. Even if he doesn't really have any weapons besides Hawkinson. And I think, a couple wideouts. A couple random wideouts too. We'll actually chop it up and look at that. Nope. What the fuck? There it is. There it is. Now we'll look at dripping sauce in the Goodfellas League. This is my league. Ooh, sitting in first place. 8-3. Let's go. Live draft, COVID draft. Send it. Sitting. We just reached platinum. Let's go. Definitely got to finish platinum. Coming off a victory. Let's get it. Averaging 161 points per week. Ooh-wee. Damn. Allen, CD, Thielen, Jonathan Taylor, obviously. Mark Ingram, Gesicki. I've been rocking with the Gesicki-Andrews combo. Hasn't been bad at all. Tyreek Hill. Picked up Russell Wilson off the waivers. Make sure you check in your waiver wire, too. For sure. Lat Murray. About to get dropped. Dang. Mother Hubbard. Now, for first in that league, we can't be first in the 9-2, bro. You gotta be fucking kidding me. 9-2 in the league where there's points left and right. I don't even know the stats. I just know I got some dogs out there. I got my dogs with me. And sitting 9-2, 4,000 points through 11 weeks, bro. Oh my God. I think that's like 500 more than the next person. Dak, Devo, Deontay, Cooper, Damian Harris, Miles Sanders just back from injury. Picked up Goddard off the waiver wire. Check your waivers, make sure. Lamar Jackson, Corey Davis, Mac Jones. That boy out there balling. Kelsey, Darrell Williams. Wow. Edward Hilaire was hurt. That was probably my best waiver pickup in all leagues. Aaron Jones. Don't have a kicker because we just out there fluttering. That boy. Solo, like when you going, I'm like, I still gotta edit the pod. Trying to recover. If you ain't fucking with still grinding through it. Let's get it. Shit. Don't stop. Debo. That boy Debo's an animal. Dead ass. And they're running him a little bit more. Design runs too. That's huge. So the next prop we got for y'all, how to break off into that, show you first in both leagues. And in my other league, we got 4 wideouts, 2 tight ends. I think it's on the Sleeper app. Bruh, I went 1-5 and then back with 4 straight victories until I just lost this past week. But didn't drop any position. Couple victories will boost me into the playoffs. But I think there's 4 divisions. All the 4 divisions of 3 teams. Come on. All division winners make it, no matter your record. I'm not exactly sure the rules in that league, but fuck. I'm trying to make the playoffs, even if I don't know a damn thing about this settings. That boy, 4 wideouts, 2 tight ends, 2 quarterbacks. What you supposed to do? I don't think there's a kicker either. Like, you gonna tell me I can't kick? I can't pick up my boy Zane. My boy Zane Gonzalez. Come on. Come on. And shout out Speedy. That boy dipping. So the next prop we got for y'all. David Montgomery. 79.5 rushing yards. I'm thinking him versus Detroit. Detroit's giving up 188 yards per game on the ground over the last 3 and sit 31st in the league over the season. Lock him in. Over 79.5. They're going to have to get that ground game going. And in that Cowboys-Raiders game, which I think was probably going to hit the over 51.5. We got Zeke, who facing a Vegas rush defense, who 29th in the league. I think he's guaranteed to get a tutty here. Dallas is definitely going to move the ball. But the next piece we need for this prop hitter, Darren Waller, also to score a touchdown. That's sitting at plus 275. We're going to lock it in. I think he's guaranteed to get it going. And with CD out there, Diggs is going to have to be shadowing him. And Gallup, I think he'll have a sneaky day. And CD is definitely going to open more opportunities on the other side of the field, especially with all the recognition and all the focus over there if he's out there, because he's such a beast. Who just seen that toe on the screen? Aaron Rodgers is a fucking savage. I just look up there, just Rodgers with a fucking foot right there. That boy hectic. But plus 275, we locking it in. And the little flyer we got for y'all, a tight end who's sneaky, who in my 2 tight end league, in that same league, we got 12 teams. So think about it. Is there even 24 good tight ends? Nope. But in this one, I'm thinking New Orleans, they're going to put up some points in that game at home versus Buffalo. And I'm thinking Juwan Johnson. And unfortunately, due to injury to Troutman, where he was just placed on IR, probably going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. I'm thinking Juwan Johnson, plus 550, who already scored a couple tutties this year. Where's he at? Boom, boom, boom. Right, he scored. Hit him with that stank shit. Yup. 3 tutties on the year. Scored 2 week 1. Scored another one a couple weeks later, but hasn't scored since October 3rd. Not really many opportunities, but I'm thinking with Troutman out, and Troutman, that boy, he just had, pretty sure a solid week last week. Well, they targeted 8 times. Yeah, 8 targets back-to-back weeks. Nope. 8 targets in his last game versus Philly, which they had to throw the ball a lot because their defense gave up 40 points. And versus Philly to give up 40 points? Come on. Come on. But you see Troutman averaging just around, 7 targets per game over his last 3 weeks. Oh, actually over his last 4. Absolutely solid. So Juwan Johnson in the red zone. Could he get it going? I think plus 550 to score a tutty in this one. I think it's not bad value. We locking it in. A little flyer for the day. And to close us out on this Thanksgiving holiday, That ass. You already know. Make sure y'all get up with the fam. All that shit. See, I'm about to get a copyright. Copyright on the videos playing. Mother hubba. That ass. Shout out to fam JB on the beat. Let's have a day. Let's have a day. Grateful. Blessed. Let's get to it.